So, of all the things that Milestone could have updated, they decided to nerf the green build. Well, unrestrained speed is nerfed now. Instead of giving speed, they actually give you handling. It's not bad, but you can see right here how it's affects split image too. So no car will be able to get the max top speed bonus anymore, even the rocket vehicles. But before we go insane with this change, let's try out some vehicles and see how they handle. I decided to go with the power sander first, because we all know that vehicle is a little too good. And as you can see right now, it's already quite slow compared to my old time. Although you could say that I suck at driving this car because I haven't really picked this one up since this. Anyway, one thing's for sure, they definitely nerfed the speed of the game. It's something that I really didn't want them to do. I was really hoping for them to buff something instead of nerf. What does this mean is that essentially we can get those times back. For people that haven't done the extreme times yet, well, it's gonna be a lot harder for you. By the way, here you can see that travel distance while boosting is much shorter than what it used to be, regardless of the car that you are using. Anyway, we are finishing the time trial here with power sander, and as you can see, almost 2 seconds lower. Yep, power sander might not be as good as it was before, which I guess it's a good thing at the end of the day. Next we get another very good vehicle, which is Solar CX-4, one of the best rocket cars in the game. It was holding the best timing of this track till power sander came along and destroyed everything. And you can see right here that it might not have been as affected as power sander was with this nerf. You can see that I'm boosting my old time quite well. It might be the case that vehicles with really good stats are not as affected as vehicles like off-roaders and heavy duties that really need those extra stats, especially top speed stuff, or just cars that rely too much on boosting, especially in the boost acceleration like the ATVs and such. Almost finished with this burning lap, and again, as you can see, I'm be able to follow my old time pretty well, so it might say that not all cars were as affected as power sander with this nerf. Anyway, finishing this off, you can see that it is half a second slower, at least on this track, so not a big deal. This might be the case for all the rocket cars that are less boost dependent. And for my final burning lap, I decided to take something that I'm very used to driving, and I had a time of Splittin 2 before the update, so we're gonna drive Splittin 2 then. It's also a good way to see how Swift cars are doing after the update, and as you can see, it seems they actually are doing quite fine, you know. Of all the vehicles that I have drove, it seems that Splittin 2 and maybe even all the Swift vehicles in general were really not that affected by the speed nerf. It's kinda funny considering that Swift vehicles are very dependent on the stats to be good. If you drove a Swift vehicle without the green build, you know what I'm saying. So yeah, at least on this track, it seems that Swift vehicles are still just as good as they were before. We are getting here to the end of the burning lap, and as you can see, I actually got a better time this time around, but the difference is so little that I wouldn't say it was because of the perk. So what about the blue build, you say? Well, they didn't change anything about it. It still gets the same times, but I guess it's now a little closer to the green one. And you could even say that the two of them are now much more balanced, because that great boost acceleration that we used to get on the green one is now a unique characteristic of the blue build. So I like to say that the blue build is more like a power build right now. It's heavily focused on top speed, but it will ruin your handling and your acceleration will struggle to the corners, while the green one, it's a safer grip build. Anyone can pick up and drive and do well on any track, but there are some tracks that the power build, mostly high-speed tracks with lots of straights, the blue build essentially will do better. You will see here, I'm doing the time here on the same track that I did previously, and this is more like a technical track, lots of corners, so the green build is still the best choice, at least for a pro. So yeah, I had a much easier time driving with the green build here than with the blue one. It's just too much work on some tracks to be worth it. And I actually got a better time too, so no reason to ever pick blue build on this track in particular. Now, this track, it's heavily focused on straights, doesn't have a lot of corners for you to recharge your boost, so the blue build actually shines quite a lot here. You see that I get 1.6, which actually even before the nerfs was a pretty decent time. And now you see the green build that doesn't have a lot of places to get their boost back and very limited boost power, boost acceleration. On this track in particular, it got a 1.7, so yeah, almost a second slower. So at the end of the day, they are more balanced. However, I would not recommend blue build on every car. I think, for example, Swift vehicles are just too bad with it. Even on high-speed tracks, they, like I said before, they really rely on the stats to be good, and they are awful to drive without the extra. And for now, that's about it for me on regards to this update. I still don't like the fact that they nerf stuff, but let me know how you guys feel on the comments below. See you on the track.